And so begins the next saga in the MCU, and Spider-Man has swung into theaters with enough money to buy all of Mexico, fix it up, and flip it. Tom Holland and the rest of the cast have returned to life after the Hulk has reversed the snapping, now known as the blip, and everyone is still trying to get a grasp on things. Which was definitely a perfect setup for a few jokes, for sure, but never came to fruition. For example, there could have been a scene where a distressed mother and father are sobbing over their rebellious daughter's disappearance in a room that they haven't changed, only to find their daughter pop back into existence with two men who are running a train on her. Instead, there is a brief summary of what has happened since, which is fine if not a little expository, and the story takes place abroad in Europe, the land of world wars, German barmaids, and giant elementals wreaking havoc like the Avatar lost control of his powers. While Peter is trying to organize himself on this vacation with these problems, he also makes contact with Mysterio, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, who, in full costume, looks like Aquaman with a cloak while hotboxing inside of a fishbowl, and learns of the possible existence of the multiverse. This is a lot for a single character to take in, like the rebellious daughter from earlier, Tony's death, the lack of Avengers, uncertainty of one's potential, etc. Spider-Man, in a galaxy far, far away, is like starting off the school year with 5 essays, 2 research papers, and the task of discovering a new element. The action, acting, story, etc., it's all good across the board like a well-balanced D&D character, which is the standard for MCU because if a film came out and bombed at the box office, the world would explode from backlash like Planet Vegeta, #Free Frieza. And this time around, it is nice to see the sidecast do a little bit more this time around, rather than just be there for the sake of continuity, like Toad finally getting his own adventures, rather than just being a punching bag for Bowser and his minions. Mysterio being introduced to this franchise is a nice addition, as his backstory is akin to Vulture's from the previous film, and makes the character a little bit more grounded and relatable. And yet I have a difficult time agreeing with Mysterio in this film. Jake Gyllenhaal gives a great performance as usual with all the charisma and none of the butt stuff, but everything about him is too perfect to believe it isn't a ruse. Like when MJ tells Peter she thinks he is Spider-Man. Like, duh, of course he is. Brain-dead NPCs can find out his identity, and it amazes me more classmates haven't figured this out. I thought Mysterio's plan made sense, but the more I thought about it, the more everything fell apart like a leper on a roller coaster. This is a universe where Tony Stark has made nanotechnology a reality, and we weren't consumed by a giant gray blob apocalypse, and numerous characters, whether they be hero or not, know about and have the technology that can perform intergalactic space travel. So you have to bend backwards with a twist for Mysterio's plan to make sense in this film, because it holds up to scrutiny about as well as a dog with your couch cushion in his mouth blaming the cat. Spider-Man Far, Far Away is a serviceable MCU film. It hovers right around the quality of Homecoming and Doctor Strange. The characters are good as usual, if not a little on the dumb side. The heart and humor hit about the same notes, like someone covering a song rather than making a complete remix. Mysterio's plan falls apart when you start thinking critically like any reasonable person if they were hired to appraise Jurassic Park, and the bonus credit scenes set up a lot for what and where the MCU is going to go from here.